Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good evening. Today is November 16th, 2017. The Environmental Conservation Board. We have an agenda we're going to follow. The first item is Kirkwood Estates LLC. I guess,
Kirkwood?
is she Kirkwood? No. Is she?
Together?
With you? Yes. Okay, Kirkwood Estates is not here. We'll go to number 2, Mario Inzano. Could please come up to the podium, please state your name and why you're here. Hi. Go up to the,
Shannon Inzano, I'm here for 188 Austin Road. Oh, Bullet Hole. Jeez, I'm sorry.
and you are a resident there?
No, my in-laws bought the property?
Okay. And the reason why you're here is you want to construct a driveway?
Well, we're trying to get a building permit to put up a house.
Okay.
And so they said we needed the IPP and then we needed a SWIP. So I got everything for you.
Okay, so,
Is there an application in there?
yeah, I was just gonna check. Okay, just so everybody knows what we have here, you got a notice of violation from the New York's DEP. You have a permit in the file, completed permit in the file. You have a DEC wetlands inspector report done. Joseph Steely Jr. Wetlands delineation. Okay.
Who's that from?
Joseph Steely, he billed you for wetlands delineation on
No,
December
that
8th,
was old.
2003.
That's old, yeah. That's why.
2003. And I have a deed. Okay, so,
Can I see the deed?
deed.
Thank you,
Indeed.
sir.
Okay, so you want to walk us through your project, please?
Well, Roy or Willie was supposed to be here to do this, but
Who?
Roy
Willie?
or Willie, and they both bailed out on me tonight, so. Can I go over there? Can I go up there?
Yeah.
Or
Sure.
Stay here.
Yes.
We'll just put a microphone.
Who's mine?
I just want to apologize if the phone rings. Here, Frank. We have a towing service 24 hours, so if the boys downstairs call us, we have to go. Well, the house is going, I don't know how to explain it to you guys.
We see,
Okay, the way I see this property is you have there's a,
this is Bullet Hole Road,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
And you're developing,
yeah, so this is a common drive. Because there's a house.
this is a common drive right here.
Yes,
Trail line, property, private drive, comes into here, and you're gonna build a 3-bedroom, house.
it's there, it's on the property already, it's a modular.
It's a modular house,
We've been trying to do this since July, so.
but this is the first time you came to us.
yes,
Where are the
because we didn't know.
wetlands?
This is all wetlands over here.
Show me the line. Do you know? Is
This
that
is, my sill fence is here, right, because that's what he said, this is the sill fence,
correct?
yeah. So then this is,
Here's your 100-foot buffer.
Oh, here
Here's
it
the
is.
wetland line.
Right here.
Here's your wetland line.
yes.
See it?
and the
Here's your
buffer.
100-foot buffer.
Yes.
So you're just outside
The house
the
is
buffer.
on the outside of it, yes,
You're outside the buffer by a
This
few,
is the house.
right.
30 feet,
So
20
you're
feet.
outside the 100 feet. That's a cute.
Why
And
we had to do this originally was because a certain portion of the common drive is so close or is right
In the
against
wetlands.
yeah, in the buffer, not in the
In the
wetlands, in
bet-
the buffer, right? Yeah.
right,
Can you state your name for the record?
Frank Gonzano.
okay. So here's my question for you. Were the septic fields already there, or you put them in?
No, they were there. See, now this is my see, and I don't wanna argue with nobody. The way the land is sitting is the way they bought it. So whatever clearing was done by the people, they subdivided it, and then someone else owned it, and that's who we bought it from. So whatever there's, you know, the circle, there's a big pile of fill, this is all there prior to us buying it. But I was told, and I understand that I'm the applicant, so I'm the one who gets the violation, I get it. But we didn't do anything on this property. The way it sits, the way it looks, is the way we bought it.
When did you buy it?
Mom, when did you buy it?
I think it was May, we closed.
This year?
This
Yes,
year.
yes,
May of
yes.
this year. And when did the house modular show up?
2 weeks ago, because we were supposed to be all set with this.
Because they said it was Board of Health approved, everything was done.
Yeah, when they bought it, it was Board of Health approved, ready to build. So knowing that this is the first time we've ever done vacant land, so I didn't even know anything about an IPP until it was, until I came into Mike and I said, all right, Mike, here's my building permit, here's all my stuff with my house for my modular and stuff, and he goes, Sharon, you need an IPP. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we did the IPP, and then when, who's that, Rich and Rob went to the property, that's when they seen the property, and I guess it wasn't the way it was supposed to look.
This is existing, this driveway.
Yes,
What is that made out of?
dirt.
Just dirt.
You're not gonna pave it, are you?
No, because there's a bond or something that you guys are holding for the other people.
The
They're
person who's
supposed to pave up to it, in other words, 'cause it's a common drive. So the town of Carmel is holding that bond. He said they're gonna wind up breaking it. And,
Yeah, because she doesn't want to do it.
yeah.
So you're asking for a driveway. Is that the only thing that you're asking for here? Because that's what it has in the comment.
Yeah, I don't know why the comments were that, I saw that on that piece of paper. I'm asking to get a building permit.
Well, we don't give building
No,
permits.
I know, but they're telling me that I needed to do this
I
because
guess
of the
you need a driveway
wetlands.
It's because the way your application is right now, is you're asking for a 250-foot driveway in the buffer zone, which would be,
Right, that's what
This.
Rob and Rich said, that's why I needed to have this done and come to you guys and get a wetlands permit because of that driveway is so close to the buffer zone or in the buffer zone.
it's in the buffer.
Right,
right,
that's why
so
I was told that
The-
this is.
So there's a couple things that we have to establish,
Okay.
okay? So first of all, the first item that we have to establish is how much area are you disturbing in the buffer?
Just for the driveway, that 250 or whatever it was.
Let me
Here's your-
finish.
here's your
So what
buffer
you,
zone.
yeah, so,
From here
Yeah,
to here, okay?
right,
And
well, that's
you
the
need to-
driveway that's there now. He
Okay.
wants me to he wants me to move the driveway.
yeah, because you have a temporary construction
You're
driveway
gonna
here.
demo this driveway, or it's nothing
Or
there.
whatever, yeah. It's not made of anything, so you have my.
All right, so this is what we have to do. I need to, I don't know if this is gonna be able to be resolved today, because you're gonna have to get somebody to give you some calculations. So what I need to know is how much driveway, square footage are you affecting, okay?
It doesn't say down there?
Oh, impervious is 6,400 square feet. Oh, perfect. 6,400. Total site area is 4.7 acres. The area of disturbance is about 2.8 acres.
Right, because they're saying that it was
All
cleared
disturbed.
more than what should have been.
Okay, so because it's now more than 5,000 square feet, you need to give us a stormwater, a SWIP.
Right.
This is a drawing. A SWIP is a plan, right, Vince? Anytime you want to chime? It's usually a report that comes and it shows how you're gonna maintain the site during construction. It's not just a drawing. This is a good start. I mean, I really don't wanna kill you here, but it's just, here's the thing, if it's over 5,000 square feet, we need to have a SWIP. And a SWIP is a document that is compiled by an engineering firm or
Well, shouldn't,
Somebody.
Mr. Frederickson here know that
Yes.
this is what he needed to do?
He robbed
So
us
why
of
didn't
that
he give it to me?
choice.
he gave you a drawing for the
There's a
SWIP.
rain garden on here,
Yeah, he shows a rain garden.
and the
Right.
calculations are on the next page.
I mean,
Does he have a total disturbance then on here somewhere?
Yes, in the front page.
2250.
It's got calculations.
Yeah, well, let's see, maybe it's a little.
2250 square feet.
The impervious area 2250, what, how come it's only treating 2250?
Well, so.
See, if he says on the front here, he says area of impervious surface is 6,400 square feet. And over here, he's only saying that we're doing.
But this might
20
be for everything, not just the driveway,
No,
unless I'm.
no, because the area of disturbance is 119,000 square feet
Yeah.
based upon the calculations of the lot. Then he's saying area of impervious surfaces, which is areas that, you know, do not allow water to trickle through, is 6,400. So he's saying his total site area is 4.7 acres, which is fine. But then he's giving us his runoff calculations, and he's giving us,
For 2250 instead of 6400.
But my question is that 6,400, I don't, does that say on here that it's just, that's what's within the buffer?
It says impervious surface.
Right, I think that might be the whole lot, because the whole lot is not within only this amount is within the buffer, so I think
but
that
we're
might be
not
the whole-
touching it
whole
on
lot,
this
right?
area. We're only touching this area on this driveway. So basically, if I had a highlighter, I would highlight this road, and wherever this line crosses, which is from here to here, that's your area of disturbance.
Right, but I don't think that, I could be wrong, but this I don't believe is the 6,400. I think that.
I don't either.
I think that 6,400 is the entire
It can't be.
lot
It can't be.
that is being
It's not big
disturbed.
enough.
That's not
It's
big
it's
enough.
not- It's not gonna capture anything. So much of an area.
6,400?
I don't know what to do here.
You need, someone has to clarify, see, he's got some
Yeah.
runoff
That's why he's supposed to
calculations
be
over
here.
here, and that's, he's got some runoff calculations.
Some other things that are missing on this plan, maybe you can, there's not a detail
For
of
the-
a silt fence.
Yeah.
That they have to show that. I can see, I believe this is your silt fence.
That's the silt fence,
that's
yes,
there
and he
now.
wants a silt fence around the big
Yeah.
pile of stuff that's here.
So he needs to show the typical detail for the silt fence, which is the fabric fence, and how it's buried into the ground 6 inches, and how it's supported on posts in the ground. He's got to show that. It's a typical detail. I'm sure he has that. You also want to show where you're going to stage, yeah. We'll write this.
Are you
That's
gonna
a,
write it for me?
that's a fake pen.
Fair
Fake
enough.
pen?
Is it?
Here's one
It's a
handed
real good-looking pen.
Here.
There's a
Sorry.
stone wall
Thank
along
you.
Yeah.
on one side, stone wall. Is there a stream that goes along there?
There is,
There should be a stream.
So you're gonna,
Silt fence construction?
silt fence detail. Like, he knows that. That's a detail of your stockpile, okay? It's just a,
Oh, so he needs this
a
for
di-
the property?
no, for the silt fence. He's gonna show a typical section of silt fence.
Okay,
He knows how it's going to appear with the posts and the silt fence buried into the ground, 6 inches. It's a standard. You're gonna show, your staging area for equipment and materials, like where on this map is your staging area? I don't see it on the, property, okay?
Here. This is silt
And
fence
materials
detail. This is a silt fence detail
is a detail.
for the silt fence. Hey, guys, let's have one conversation instead of two.
And then, of course, you wanna show where you're gonna fuel the
They're
equipment.
not gonna have any, you're not
No
gonna have
equipment?
well,
right?
I have to do my foundation, that's,
Yeah, you need to show a a spill kit,
A location of a spill kit on the plan,
fuel, staging area.
and where you're gonna fuel the equipment. Okay?
well, that's want that, I mean, it's gonna sit out of the ground, it's only getting dug down like 3 feet or something.
Okay. Then
That's
state
the
it.
day you just,
And then let me ask another question. This pile of soil, you're gonna use it, or are you gonna,
love to use it, it's beautiful topsoil.
are you gonna leave it there? What are you gonna do with it? You're gonna spread it around the house?
Yeah,
Probably, yeah,
Yeah.
they'll want to backfill the house with it.
yeah, and then I guess
So-
the rain garden, we're probably gonna have to have nice soil for that, I mean, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah, just give us a note saying that the stockpile soil will be reused on site.
Okay, stockpile, soil, reuse,
First time they visit.
Between,
site.
It's always a first.
I never buy nothing near wetlands.
between the silt fencing, which is up, you say, right?
Yes,
Okay, and the temporary construction drive, that's been removed, the vegetation is in there, has been removed.
weeds and stuff, yeah.
No, it's grass,
There's this grass,
There's
yeah.
Yeah, there's grass.
yeah.
It says vegetation removed, and it has to be restored. That's what it says on your plan.
See what it
Because
says
I
here?
guess it-
Restore.
Okay.
What's there now?
This is grass. This
It's
is-
all
the
grass to the silt fence.
here, and it's grass from like right here to there, all the way down.
Maybe he, is saying once the silt fence is removed, restore it.
Get a wet, just
Possibly.
give us a detail for reseeding of the areas.
Reseeding?
Yeah, and in the wetland areas, you're gonna do a wetland
Because
mix.
because nothing we do will even go over there. So if it's grass now, why do I have to reseed it?
Leave it then. If you
I'll just say-
disturb anything in this area over here,
No?
no?
Nowhere near my house where I need
Just
to dig.
give us a note saying that for areas that are disturbed, you will reseed with a wetland mix.
Okay, reseeding if necessary.
Right, with a wetland mix.
Oh, there's a stone wall all the way back
Right,
there.
right.
There's no woods in there.
But this is sloped this way.
DEP violation. You have it?
That's the key.
I mean, we can't
Stop the
waive that
stormwater from running back into the wetland.
violation.
Right, I think
That's why you have the
why
silt
he's-
fences protecting
That's why
that.
he's doing this whole thing to go around this way.
Yeah,
Yes.
the thing in there, so.
There's a swale here with these little rock thingies that
Mm-hmm.
he's putting in.
No?
That's what's on the other paper. LCD too.
Have you guys contacted the DEP?
Yes, they have a copy of this.
Are you removing trees?
No, we didn't,
Okay.
but they're saying we did, but we didn't.
Yeah, no.
But,
What's
you know,
here right now in this area?
Grass.
That's all grass.
Yeah, no, grass, weeds.
All right, on October 11, 2017, the staff observed approximately 3 acres of tree clearing, grubbing, and exposed areas of soil that appear to be at least in part on slopes greater than 15%. The exposed areas have minimal erosion and no sediment controls in place and have caused sediment deposition into a federally regulated wetland. So where did we do the 3 acres of clearing?
They're saying that it was all up here, there's nothing here.
We have a rock wall.
So they cleared
So there's a
between
big
this
mound of
rock
dirt
wall.
here. This big thing, this was the
Yeah,
septic
that's
thing,
where the
right?
septic dirt is.
Right, so
yeah.
behind that, they're saying all this was cleared.
You clear cut trees area? Did you clear cut trees?
We didn't, but there are no trees there.
Who owned it before you?
But they,
Hanny and somebody else, and then they got it from Gervaisi.
because they say here on October 11th, they observed of 3 acres of tree clearing, grubbing, and exposed area soils. I mean, did they,
Yeah, I guess because no one was there before it, you know,
did somebody see you cutting trees?
absolutely not.
No, they just observed that there were 3 acres cut. I don't think
Right.
they're saying they were there observing.
All right. You're gonna have to, what we need is, you need to talk to your engineer. We need to get a real number on area of disturbance. That's what we need, because,
You got this notice of violation from the city of New York.
Yes,
Has your engineer seen this?
yes.
Okay, there's, definitely things that are said have to be done in here. Approval of stormwater prevention plan.
Right, they got that today, yesterday, when I got it. Roy gave this to me yesterday.
Where's the
We're gonna
plan?
need that.
Where's the plan?
That's the plan right there.
this is it. This is not a SWIP, though. A SWIP is a document. Here's my let's look at the right ways to do this. So let's just say you pulled up to this lot, and there were trees and grass and everything there, and you said to me, I want to build a house on this property. So you go to the planning commission, they say, okay, this lot you can build a house on. You come to me and say, I want to build a house on this property. So I say to you, fine, I need to see the area of disturbance on this lot. So you'll tell me, okay, we have a 3-acre lot, we're cutting all the trees down. I'm going to disturb 45,000 square feet of land, of property, okay? Which is greater than the 5,000 square feet of property as required by the code. So I would say to you, okay, give me a plan showing your silt fence, which you show, the layout of the house, layout of your septic fields, where you're gonna stockpile your soil, how you're gonna fill your machines up, all this stuff. And because you've exceeded the 5,000 square foot disturbance, you need to provide us with a SWIP. And what a SWIP is, it's a stormwater prevention plan, pollution plan, that basically has, as you're doing the construction work, you go through on a weekly basis, checking out that all your controls are in, your,
You may say that, but I think the DEP has superseded that. DEP seems to want to SWIP for all the clearing that was done.
that's what I'm saying.
What,
They're greater than
5,000?
because they're greater than 5,000 feet. That's the barometer right there.
Okay, but the other thing too is that you have to get, we can't give a permit until DEP says it's okay.
Right.
Okay, they should know.
So
that.
what you should do is you should see if the DEP is happy with this.
You gotta,
If they're release this violation, because I can't give you a permit because you have a
they have to
violation.
okay the SWIP.
They have to okay this first. If they okay this first, and they clear this, then we can give you your permit.
Okay.
But I can't give you anything until this is released.
So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna stop the check on this guy, because he robbed us. That's the
Yeah, but
second.
this, I mean, and I know
That's
we're being
$4,000
recorded, and I don't expect
already.
anyone to say anything,
You know
but
what
I
I mean for
mean,
that? That's ridiculous.
I got
And I'm
roped
supposed to
into
come
this
here,
guy.
be able to get a permit tomorrow.
Did-
My
did-
father's got 6 months
The
left to live.
DEP,
He wants to see
I'm
this house.
sorry.
You know what I mean?
DEP,
I'm ready to buy another piece of property and put the house somewhere else. You know what I mean? That's it. You know?
Yeah, but the bottom line
This
is
was
that
supposed
Roy
to
should
be-
know what a SWIP is supposed to be, and that's clearly not what he gave us.
the definitive on whether the SWIP is adequate is gonna be DEP, okay? Did you give the?
This is
SWIP
your
to
guiding factor right here. So if the DEP says this is fine and they accept this, then we just need you to tweak it a little bit for what we want, and we're good to go. But
They're not looking to accept it, they're not gonna look to accept this, isn't gonna be good enough for them. I mean, that's just,
Well, we don't know, you should go down and talk to them.
you should go down to,
You or your engineer should go down and talk to them, see exactly what they want.
yeah,
I mean, they're citing the fact that approximately 3 acres have been cleared, and that's what their basis for requiring, I think, is requiring a SWIP, not just the stuff that's in
and
here.
believe me, I'm not here to make your life difficult, we're here to help you. But based on the fact that you have
This is
this,
just for the driveway, or this is for the whole thing?
this is for the whole thing, the whole lot.
Your
we got
problem.
a
This violation is
for what
all
they
3
cleared
acres.
And what they did, we're getting screwed with it. I mean, you know, but like Anthony Molay, the lawyer, he was like, you guys can just keep that in heads. I didn't do it. Well, it doesn't matter, because you own the property and you're the applicant, so you get screwed with the violation.
Who's this, the lawyer, is it your lawyer who said that?
Anthony Molay, and,
Is he your lawyer?
yes.
So this Roy Frederickson, by the way, should know about the SWIP. Now, he might.
He might say that this is just enough because you're only dealing with the driveway, but we're not
But
looking at the driveway. If you look
according
at
to the
permit,
violation, right.
According to the violation, if, and you've read this, I'm sure,
Yes.
multiple times.
Yes.
It's basically telling you that 3 acres of tree clearing, grubbing, and exposing, and they say a SWIP must be for approval, 60 days. I need this waived or satisfied before I can give you a permit.
Okay.
So my advice to you is, I would call Mr. Frederickson, have Mr. Frederickson call the DEP, see if they got this
Yeah, well, I
plan.
talked to the Joe Zavinsky today, and he was super cool, and he gave me another name that Roy was supposed to call this Mary, somebody else, I have it written down.
Mary Gianetti, Mary Galasso.
Galasso, that was the name.
So,
And I told Roy to call our engineer, yeah, so,
all right, so you're going, this is what my advice to you is, you're gonna have him, you're gonna get this gone. This needs to go away. Not only does that one need to go away,
yours,
this one needs to go away.
right.
Okay? So once
But that
this,
is satisfied when you guys are satisfied.
when this is satisfied, this'll be satisfied, then you're gonna give us, then you're gonna make the plan, those notes we gave you, have them incorporated into here. When this is satisfied, this will be satisfied, satisfy this, we can grant you a permit. And it's a 30-day clock though, so we put it on the calendar. If the public comes to look at it and they have no comments, we show you the secret handshake and we send you on your way. If there's comments from,
After you accept it, right, Rose was
right,
telling me
after we
she has to
accept
post
it,
after
she has
you
to
accept
post it.
Right,
After it's posted,
right.
then, after it's posted and there's no issues, like I said, we'll show you the secret handshake, and then you leave. Then you're good.
Okay.
But this is the first thing you need to address.
And the SWIP, just so you know as well, it's a pretty standard document. It's a
Yeah.
document like this, but it's mostly
Google it.
information, and then you fill in information, or your engineer will fill in information in different areas about exactly what
But now,
what Bob was saying.
but when I hired him and paid him to do me a SWIFT, shouldn't that accompany these two pieces of paper?
I don't know what his, I don't know what he did. This is a,
That would be
We were
true
supposed to
if
be able to
DEP
put a house
accepts
on
it.
if the DEP,
No, but just in general, for you guys to have a SWIFT, if I hired an engineer for a SWIFT, shouldn't it, this document that you're talking about
It dep-
accompany?
It depends. If the
These
DEP
papers?
accepts this as your SWIP
As
in
your
in
SWIP.
lieu or
Uh,
for the SWIP, then that's fine. And
If
Then
the
it-
town engineer also.
yeah, the town engineer also accepts it.
there may also be a document that he has, a standard document.
Oh,
that
they
he
do
has.
have a silt fence detail.
They do.
Oh, that is in there.
Oh, look at that, let's cross that off the
I
list.
missed that.
There's a
That's it
stockpile
right
as
there.
well.
Fence detail.
There's a stockpile.
Yeah, I know.
Only it doesn't show it's being wired back.
Do we need to, just to
Yeah.
make sure that they have all this, do we need to do anything with this temporary construction drive, like
I
is that what
told
the
her any
reseeding
areas
was
that are
for?
anything that's disturbed must be reseeded with a wetland mix. That's it. And he gave us the driveway profile, and, I mean, again, I'm really handcuffed until the DEP one's, resolved.
Has any part of the proposed driveway been constructed?
No,
Nothing,
everything, the way it sits is the way we bought it, we didn't construct anything.
There's a pipe that is in there, somebody put a pipe in. So
By the
sometime-
driveway, right?
When you first pull in the driveway, there's a pipe that comes
Right.
across from the.
Yep.
Right there. All right? Sorry.
No, it's okay. But look, can I just throw something out at you? There's no way I can get a building permit to put a foundation down in.
We don't control it.
I don't control building
I know.
department.
But
What the
what'd you
building
say?
department-
We don't do the permits
No,
for
I
that,
know.
that's,
What the building department's gonna do is they're gonna say, go get your ECB permit and go get make sure you get your ECB permit and make sure, which compromises if you have anything with the DEC, the DEP,
Right, I know,
whatever.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm willing-
What I would do also, and I'm not trying to spend your money, but what I would do is, you have this guy, this wetlands,
Yeah, that was
inspector,
before us.
right, 2003. What I would do is I would contact him, ask him to refresh his survey, because maybe, just maybe, if he goes out there and he sees the 100-foot buffer is, the wetlands has moved, then this road may be out of the wetlands. You see what I'm saying? Like, if he goes out there to check the wetlands, and he flags it in the exact same spots it was in before, then it is what it is. If he says to you, oh, no, the wetlands is moved because of, natural occurrences and stuff, your 100-foot buffer may move. But I'm just, I'm not trying to grasp at straws here for you, but I'm just, maybe this line then, the buffer moves down, and you don't have half the problem you have. You agree with that, Vince?
Yeah, but this is a water course here. It's not-
Oh, it's a water course?
Yeah, it's a water course, it's not.
Oh,
No, that's why Rich and Rob went out there, because they saw this,
It's been over 10 years.
and they were like, well, you don't need a permit. And then they went out there, and that's when they seen the property was not the way that it's supposed to be.
And then they gave you a violation.
Right, which totally sucks, because I didn't do it. If I did it, then okay, I'll get in trouble for it, you know what I mean? But if I didn't do it.
If
okay.
you wanna do this, if they've already seen it, then save you money on this then.
Yeah.
But I would talk to Roy and have him go out there
Oh.
and
But
speak
just
to the
in-
DEP.
But now, just in your professional opinion,
I'm not that bright, but go ahead.
I have absolutely no problem spending whatever money I need to spend to comply. That's not an issue. My issue is that I have a house sitting on trailers, and I really need to get a hole dug in the ground. So, that's completely up to Mike? Or you're saying you're probably, no way you're gonna get this?
He has the, you wanna be brutally,
Yeah, absolutely.
brutally honest?
Yeah, no
Brutally
sugar.
honest is
No
this.
sugar.
No sugar. Brutally honest, you need to get rid of this first.
Before anyone's gonna let me do anything?
Before anybody's gonna let you do anything. Get rid of this first.
And how long is that gonna take, roughly?
I don't know.
You have no clue?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Could be maybe a phone call and a letter. It could be, could you meet me out in the field and we'll walk this and I'll show you what's going on? It could be a whatever.
Okay.
But you need to get rid of this. Once this is satisfied, then it satisfies this. Then you're basically coming to me with a fresh lot that has been, because a lot of it's outside the buffer area. I'm only looking at the
Right,
small
well,
area
all I want.
that's
Like,
in the
a small
buffer.
area to put
Right.
a foundation in.
But
It's nowhere near your.
Once
buffer
those,
zone.
once, like I said, once these two are cleaned up, then you come here, we give you your permit, then they'll give you whatever permits they need to do. Because remember now, you're gonna be digging here a hole for your foundation, right? So you're gonna need to put additional silt fence around the area to protect anything from, because of the slopes in the area.
Right.
So, like I said, if you can get the two violations waived or satisfied,
Right, yeah,
come back in here and we can help you.
okay.
One last thing, food for thought, when you come back, when you are ready to come back, you should also talk with the town engineer. I'm sure you've talked with him already, Rich. And make sure all of your calculations are correct and everything. He'll review your
Your rain garden calcs.
calculations, because that depends on the total area of disturbance. So if that shrinks, you can keep it the same size, you can make it smaller as long as the calculations iron out properly. But this
What-
way, you don't have to go back and forth.
What
You
I
can
would do
just
if I was
talk with
you,
Rich.
take one of these drawings, find the wetland buffer, the 100-foot, highlight it in yellow, okay? Then, this road is coming out, then I would highlight wherever this area goes into the dotted area, which is this line right here, right? So you're looking to take care of, from this corner to about, actually, this whole road here. It's the whole road, more or
That's where
less.
the road is, that's what I don't understand.
This is Bullet Hole, right?
Yes.
This is Bullet Hole?
Bullet holes down here, you see, you
Bullet
match
holes
this
here.
line over to here.
Oh.
You see, this is a little strange, so that's how that
Right
goes.
down the driveway is right up against this wall.
Okay, so there's a wall here,
Yeah.
but this driveway, if you look at the dashed line,
Yeah.
see the dashed line? All this whole road is in wetlands. So you need to measure the width and the length. That'll give you your square footage, right? And that's your area of disturbed area. This road's not built yet, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Road is there, right there. I don't know what that is.
Okay, but this
Right
road is
here,
here,
there's
you're
a
not
road-
touching
there's
it.
a driveway that's in here, it goes right in.
It goes right in. And there's nothing in here? You're not doing anything in here?
No.
No, the house is
Here
going
over?
here. Right, that's the driveway that's coming in. The driveway
Yeah,
house
is this
is-
road
Not
here?
all the way out there like that.
No, I
It's
know.
against that rock wall.
So, Vince, if they're not putting in a driveway, if the driveway's already there,
I just want to leave it alone.
and not the temporary driveway, but the proposed driveway, if that's still there and they're not
They said that's not there.
They said it's
They
not
just
there.
said it wasn't there.
Yeah, you
No,
said this
no,
is
no,
here.
No, that's not, it doesn't sweep like that. It comes in like this off the road.
So you're saying this road is
That's
here.
right.
And you're not doing anything on that road? So they're not really disturbing, but they just have to satisfy
But
the,
they- first of all, there's all kinds of work that's been done in the buffer area, okay? So permit has to be, rectified for that.
That's exactly why all this is out here. That's inclusive
They-
of
they're-
it.
they're-
The fact
they're on
that
the
it's
short end
there,
of
it
the
was
stick.
already done.
what?
They're on the short end of the stick, but we didn't put them there, someone else put them there. They did all this work without a permit, so that has to be rectified,
Right.
since they're now the owners.
We get the DEP approval, then come in, we'll talk. All right? Sorry.
Like everything that's been done.
Have a good,
Within the buffer, everything has been done.
And I did see that, we just got it 2 days ago.
Yeah, I talked to Joe. I'm like, oh, where'd you send this? It'd be nice if you sent it to me. But it goes to Rich,
this
and then
one
it's
is
in Rich's computer until he decides to print it out and mail it to us. That's how that.
Old bullet hole road.
I'll talk to Rich tomorrow.
Maybe that's it.
We need this.
I didn't know all of it.
Here, here's it.
Well, what happened was, we got stuck with Roy because he already started, see the smirk, that's how I get
No, I-
every
all the way down bullet hole?
that I say his name. He already did the septic plan on this, and they were like, oh,
That's where
just
they
use
are
him,
here.
because he already worked on
Do
the
you
property.
use, do you have your health department approvals?
That's what according to,
septic?
that's what 188 is on that road, but.
It's Board of Health approved.
They said BOH approved, everything's ready.
You better double check. That's what I'm saying.
Board of Health approval is only the septic system.
That's it,
That's
just the
it.
septic.
That's all it counts. That's right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's,
we have that.
that doesn't mean you can just go ahead and construct though. You need all those other things.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They gotta see out there, do a
You
perk
see, I never
test.
knew about
they
the
gotta
IPP
do-
and all that stuff, so when I went to Mike and said, hey, Mike, here's all my stuff, I need a building permit, we bought a piece of land. He was like, okay, you need an IPP, and then they seen this letter that you just showed me from
Right.
that wetlands guy, and that's when Rich and Rob went out there, and they were like, dude, this property isn't the way it's supposed to look. But we didn't do any of it, but,
When that was 03, right? When
you know what I mean? But
Oh,
that's-
three.
Yeah, so anything could happen from 03.
Yeah.
2016.
Some guy could've gone out there with a chainsaw and just
Well, the
had
guy in
fun.
between, the guy who bought it
I
from
don't know.
JC, they did.
I wasn't there.
You know what I mean?
You guys done with that?
Where's the near,
Yes, they
where's,
are.
where's that nearest house from? This is Bullet Hole Road.
Show you, where they subdivided. So,
Here's the plan. Whereabouts, this is where,
where are you?
this is, this is Bullet Hole Road right here.
Okay. Oh, so that's the house, right there.
That's the house,
And
that,
then we're over here.
okay. This is, when you say that's the house,
That's the house that was subdivided. The house is already there. That's
Okay.
the nearest house.
okay, I got you. Okay,
And that's, yeah.
all right.
So they subdivided, they sold it to another person that must have obviously did stuff on that site, and then they bought it from them. So when we went, we said, oh, okay, cool, we're gonna put the house right here. And we went to Mike, and then it just snowballed from there.
Right,
All right.
okay.
All right, guys.
Good luck, sorry. Have a
Get your
good
work cut out
Thanksgiving.
for you.
You too.
Good luck. Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a good one. Happy
Yeah, you
Thanksgiving.
too, yeah. Good luck, man. Oops,
Okay,
someone's here.
Kirkwood Estates. Gentlemen. You would have been first, but you're late.
Yeah, 684 was pulled. Turns out there was an accident.
Always.
So,
Please, go up to the podium, state your name, who you're here to represent, and why you're here.
Douglas Esposito, representing Kirkwood Estates.
Okay, and the problem is you got a violation?
Yes, we received a violation.
And what were you doing? Oh, notice a violation. Revealed that in July. Kirk Lake. Do you own the property?
Yes, we do.
Is there a deed in the file?
I'm gonna check.
There was a deed added this week.
Oh, here it is, Schedule A. Just the top cover.
Let me see what it says anyways.
Okay, so tell me a story.
Story. Sorry. So received a violation. The building department suggested that we needed to file for a permit for the work that was done in conjunction to that violation. My father was also my partner. The reason why, I guess that was from July, it took some time, he actually started to file a building permit. Misunderstood what he was asked to do. One of the things that, not interesting, but one of the reasons why we didn't know what was happening, similar to the applicant previous to myself, is that we're not within the area, and we're kind of an absentee landowner.
Okay.
And much of this land is being dedicated to the town of Carmel. So we didn't even know that, it wasn't clear that we were owners or were going to be, we knew that we were owners, or Kirkwood Estates was owners, thinking that most of this land is all being dedicated over to town of Carmel. We found out there was someone had added some gravel, put a chain up, and so I think there was added some letters and correspondence and reflecting that, asking them to stop, that they didn't have any authorization to do anything. So I'm here tonight representing Kirkwood Estates, receiver of the violation, unbeknownst to ourselves that this stuff had happened, but nonetheless needing to address it. Parcel that's in question, parcel D,
Parcel D.
is a drainage access easement that's there. I think the real estate broker that lives nearby thought that there was a pile of gravel at one point, thought the town was doing some culvert work.
Where's the lake?
Where's the, mind showing us on the map?
Yeah, come on.
Come on up.
See, I don't know, I mean, you're already 100 foot in
It's parcel B, you said?
Here's the lake.
over here.
The lake
Parcel
was all
B.
across the top.
Drainage
Parcel
easement,
B.
easement over here.
Oh, D.
So this right
D1,
here,
D.
it's on the site map.
Right,
So this is the area right here.
right along that curve.
So right here. Where's the access road? This right here?
Well,
The gravel.
the gravel is
road.
right in that area, yes.
So they use this to go in and out of the lake? Somebody? Okay.
To what other capacity, whether they actually did or didn't put gravel down.
So they put item 4 here, compact, did they?
I think it's gravel, I don't think it's item 4, but I see that it was stated as item 4, but.
Okay, that was done by the inspector who went out there.
So let me ask a question. What do you want to do? Do you want to leave it or you want to remove it?
Well,
I'd rather you remove it.
really? Okay. We thought that, I guess, if you look at one of the letters, we told the neighbor we found out that did it, we told them to leave it, not to disturb it anymore, because the gravel would be, would help the drainage if there was any situation. with
Yeah, but then we get into MS4, because now you're using this as a runoff into the lake from the street. It's not treated water, it's going right into,
There's a culvert right there, too.
yeah, but
It says in the plan there's a ditch there.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
and right
says
in here, it says ditch.
Ditch.
So is it in the ditch? The gravel?
So this is what I'm gonna need from you, all right?
Honestly, I'm not-
And I'm
I-
not
I have
trying
a
to.
photo of that.
I have a
That's
photo.
perfect.
I'd love to share that with you. This was taken, I think, in the spring sometime, when we found out that there was something, there.
Why did they put gravel there?
Because they want to use it as a
Well,
boat.
they wanted to use it for boat launch?
I can only assume that, yeah.
Was this picture taken from the road? Like, were you
Yes.
standing on the road and you took
Yes.
a picture? Okay.
This front area, this widened area is where all the cars, people would generally turn off on the side of the road there, right in that area, like on that curve.
Yeah.
People would pull over and park, or whatever. So
Okay.
there always has been a widened area,
All right.
and there was always a path, I guess, that was down there. It's just a matter of, this gentleman
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
that he was gonna.
Stabilize the area so you can run the, or maybe put a
To do
trailer.
some- Something
Can I
like
see the photo?
To do something like this, do you need a driveway permit from the
I don't know.
construct a driveway? I know that we've talked
It's a, you
about that
do a
before.
DOT.
Would it?
New York City, I know what you would do, but here, I don't know. Think you need a curb cut permit, but I don't know if you need a curb cut permit for this, because there's no curb. And it's not a, I don't know what to do.
I think my dad was saying there was a maintenance, there's a maintenance that's allowed within the buffer.
Right, but this was constructed without a permit, meaning if it was
This is
there
not
already,
maintenance.
you could do a maintenance on it because you had a driveway there already, but because we have to look at this as there was nothing there and a driveway needs to be added. And even though it was added already, the permit has to grant you adding this driveway or restoring it to previously.
What's this kind of flat thing?
It's
right
like a tree trunk, a
there?
tree
Cut-
stump.
Is it cut tree, or is it,
That would be my guess.
so a tree was cut there? Okay, the other,
Well, the violation did say, there was evidence of trees being,
Cut.
brush being cut.
One to, and his permit here, letter of permission indicates 1 to 2 trees removed, gravel installed to allow for boat trailer access to lake.
Now, I saw that too, and then you see there's another stump that's off to the left.
yeah,
If you look at that base, that's how
I know, I'm looking at that.
the roots of the base of the tree branch out, and if you were to flush cut that at the base, it'd be about the same size as that.
Okay.
If you wanna get an approximate size of what that tree was, so maybe a 6-inch caliber.
So Vince, this is what I'm thinking.
Let me just say one more thing. I note that this is a drainage easement. Who holds the easement?
Leave the town, 'cause it's a town road, right?
Not necessarily. Is this a town road?
This is Kirk Road,
Kirk Road?
Kirk Lake Drive.
Okay.
to be dedicated to the
Well,
highway.
then,
We're
if they hold the easement, then I don't think we could just grant a permit. It's the town. Okay, if the town holds, that's why I'm asking, who holds the easement?
So we need to have a copy of the easement.
We also need a full copy of the deed.
I would say that the town of Carmel owns the drainage easement. So
Well,
to
then-
maintain the easement.
Then if there's work to be done in their drainage easement, I think they have to at least sign off on it or give permission, I would guess.
I don't necessarily agree with that. If you own a piece of property and somebody has a drainage easement across your property and you want to do improvements on it, you don't have to ask them to do anything within that easement.
Well,
There's
If
pipe-
it's in
there's
within the
pipes,
butler.
it depends on the easement.
There's electrical, there's all kind, the town doesn't own the property.
I know, but there may be some reason that they want the easement. Maybe they don't want it there because they want to add drainage or something like that.
Why, the reason that you have a drainage easement is so that you can maintain, if there's a problem with it, they can maintain it. They can put a pipe in if they wanted to, or if there's not a pipe there already, they can add a pipe, or if there's just gravel, or there was dirt or rocks, that they can maintain the dirt or rock.
My point is, whoever holds the easement, whether it be a town or someone, has some rights, and they should be consulted to make sure that there's no conflict with their rights.
Okay. That's,
That's all I'm saying.
That's all he's saying.
Drainage or whatever it is.
So I believe, we also do need a full copy of the deed. This is only a Schedule A that doesn't actually indicate who owns the property currently. So we will need a copy of that.
Okay.
So,
I was trying to, I have the whole contract with everything. If that's what you want. the full
Yeah.
Contract?
No, the copy of the deed, the entire copy of the deed.
Right.
All you have is the top page. Deeds are like 4 or 5 pages long. This is all you gave us.
we need something that says who actually owns this property right now, and who it was purchased from previously. It's filed with the county, you should usually see.
All right, so at a minimum, we need to see a copy of the drainage easement, we need to see a full copy of the deed. As far as restoration, I mean, Vince, I don't really wanna dig this up,
The drainage easement would have to have, there's gotta be a description on the
and
deed.
it must tell you how
There
deep
should
it
be,
is.
and it'll
what
tell you
kind of-
who actually owns the
Let me ask you a
easement.
question, if this drainage ditch had, say if they put in 2 feet of fill into this drainage ditch to make it accessible,
And then it wouldn't work.
then it wouldn't work. So then what's the options,
Yeah, I could see that point.
right? So then what we
Not
would,
that they did, but I can see the point. I don't think there's any, well, look with the, picture, it doesn't show it.
picture doesn't show, but I'm just saying, I'm just
They could've
throwing,
put
I'm
2
just.
yards in there.
2 yards is, what are you laughing,
What-
2 yards?
What is that?
2 yards is nothing.
What, do you know what year the land was subdivided? It's very old.
This is very old. This was,
That's fine, I just wanted to know for a
All
second.
right, we have to look at this, we have to look at this.
the original maps were hand-drawn.
Okay,
We were in the process of dedicating the road, which is about 10 years after the last house was built. And it's taken us some time to pave, and we've put in all monuments throughout.
when you say dedicated to the town?
Not that portion, Allen.
Oh, the other portions, okay. This is already dedicated to the town. This is,
That's already, the town owns that.
okay,
So we're dedicating, which,
okay.
part of parcel
Some of the
D
interior
and B, lots 2,
Right.
3, and 4, and then the other 17 lots that were part of that, and there was a deed swap within that exchange.
Okay.
And that was done probably 20-plus years ago.
Yeah.
That,
So-
when we purchased,
And this is a town road, not county, correct? Kirk?
I believe it's town.
Vince, this is what I'm thinking of, all right? What I'm thinking of is this. I'm thinking that we take a look at the drainage easement, get a full copy of his deed. He then replants some bushes in this area. Let me call it a day.
Yeah, because the question, the problem is that it's a boat access, and doesn't call for boat access in
Right.
that location.
Especially in that lake,
Well,
because they don't like docks.
Yeah, right, I know.
the easement was specifically made lake access easement, right? So what does that mean?
Does it say that?
It doesn't
Well, it
say
says-
lake
it says
access.
drainage easement.
It
No,
says
no.
drainage easement.
Lake access easement.
Lake access
Between
for.
this.
Between that.
Parcel D, the entire parcel?
That's what was designed.
That's
Oh,
access
okay.
into the lake.
Okay.
Interesting.
No, now, who owns parcel D?
Kirkwood Estates.
Kirkwood Estates.
And and you're Kirkwood Estates.
Whole thing?
This came out, part of that came out is that when we were processing of dedicating the road, going through all the descriptions, and that portion wasn't gonna be taken by Town of Carmel.
Was not gonna be taken.
That's why, you know, that's why we still are the owners. Actually, next week they're voting on it.
Actually, this would have been easier for us if you hadn't put it in the drainage easement, if you hadn't put it in the drainage easement.
This is that's from maps that are 20-something years, 20-plus years.
No, I mean.
You know what,
And
listen,
18 years in the process before then.
Yeah,
before we can even make a decision on what we want to do,
Okay.
we gotta see the drainage easement, I gotta see the full copy of the deed, and I have to consult with somebody smarter than me.
If the town holds the easement, the town should be at least notified, you know, so that they can raise an objection if they want to. Because we don't know what it might be.
Right, so there's definitely a suggestion here, so when you get a copy of the deed and you find out who holds this easement, whoever that might be, probably the town, contact, who controls that then? Who should you talk to, the engineering department?
Engineering,
Rich,
Not the building, right? That would be
we're over
engineering.
two today,
I
guys.
know. So contact the engineering department and ask them, Rich also happens to be the person we interface with the most, so yes, Rich Franzetti,
the town engineer.
One of many.
Yes, I imagine.
and he should be able to direct you on what the next steps would be, but I think, at least I'm speaking for myself, removing that, I think, would probably be more detrimental in the area than keeping it in place. But at the same time, you're right, the access, but it's granted in the access, the whole thing
Yeah.
there is
But
supposed
would
to
that act as a drainage ditch? I mean, as drainage runoff just through rocks as opposed to a
It's
depressed
pervious,
area?
potentially, as long as it's not crushed item 4 that's compacted, which it doesn't look like it is.
No, this looks like gravel.
Are there any catch basins in Kirk Lake Drive?
Yes.
They're not shown on here, I don't think.
Well, I know there is at Gale.
Yeah, they don't show any structures.
Okay,
along
that's
the-
why I'm saying, because if there's catch basins in the road, they may need a way to get to the lake. And that's why, maybe that's.
But that's not, see, for what information I would have, that's not part of our drainage work, so I wouldn't know, that wouldn't be on.
Well, that's why whoever holds the drainage easement in the middle of the town, they should be
What about
notified.
What does that say? Private posted, keep out.
You have no plans to put a
You gotta-
dock there, do you?
I think,
You know, I was,
No,
Put a dock there.
I think he's gotta go to Rich.
No,
He's
we're-
definitely has to go to Ridge.
no,
Don't put that, don't put that.
we put it up, we put it up for sale. Because we don't wanna pay taxes on a piece of barge. So we put it up for sale.
It's for sale now?
For sale.
What else can be done with it? Is it large enough to put a home on it or something?
No,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who would want to buy
Patio.
it?
you can't even put a motorboat in the lake.
somebody that wants to have access to get to the lake.
But you have it so that other people in the community can have access.
This is what I want to do, all right? This is what I think the fair thing to do. I think the best thing to do is get the drainage easement, get a full calculate the area here of disturbance, and what?
Talk to Rich.
Talk to Rich. Calculate the area of disturbance.
You don't know if you want it removed or leave it? Let's talk to Rich first.
Yeah, I personally, I mean, if it's a drainage easement, I think it has to go back as a drainage easement. Even if it's you digging, getting a backhoe there for the day, and, just digging out the crap that was installed.
How long, do you remember what it looked like before this took place?
I wish I had pictures of it.
Was there I'm just asking if you recall, was there a ditch there? Do you remember there being an actual ditch? Or do you remember it just being shrubs? Like, did it look like the rest of this area here? Any idea?
I know there was a path.
Path, you
Yeah.
had said a
How
path.
big was the path? How overgrown was it?
Could you get a boat down there
I'm sure.
previously?
Probably could.
A rowboat,
A rowboat.
I mean, a canoe.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's talk to Rich, give me the other two documents,
Or canoe, right, yeah,
and
like,
we'll see you in a couple weeks.
a month? Is what you
Well,
said?
we're
Oh, every
first week
2
of
weeks?
December.
First Thursday in December.
So.
Not next week, not next week, the week after.
Next week is Thanksgiving.
Next week is Thanksgiving. Can we keep this in the file?
Sure.
We're 0 for 2 today, guys.
Yeah.
Got 2 curveballs.
Well, curveballs are balls.
I'm like Judge, I can't hit a curveball.
What are the options with something like this?
Uh,
Does this come up often?
One,
No.
it's one of two things. It's either gonna be asked to be returned and restored, or they're
Two.
gonna let you keep it, and then we'll probably ask for,
And a rain
some
garden,
remediation, or like.
some remediation somewhere else.
Yeah, on the property, a rain garden, more trees, something along those lines, to help with water quality.
Right.
That's probably gonna end up being one of those two things. There could be a third option where they say, you know, keep it in place and then put some sort of a drain down the center to keep it as a drainage. I don't know,
They
that's
may make
on
it put a
Rich's.
drainage.
Just take the gravel out and.
That's what I'm
and
thinking.
reseed it with wetland seed?
That probably,
That
that
probably
is
would-
easy unless you wanna keep it, so.
We, you know, for us, we don't,
It's really,
We're not even here, like, and it's,
You're from where, Peekskill?
well, my father's in Florida, and I'm in, Patoma, I live in Patoma.
it all depends on what the town's intention is for the drainage easement.
I'm sorry, we don't have any answers for you, but I've never seen this before.
Let me just run something by you really quick. What if that gravel is not exactly in the drainage easement and it's off to the side? Does it change the way you look at it?
Well, based upon the draw, well, yeah. Yeah,
It does.
And if it is, it's a matter of removing it
and getting the drainage ditch back to the way it was.
Off even touch, let's say the drainage
Let's say the
ditch is
drain-
here,
To the
and
left.
the gravel's to the left.
Then what I'll do is I'll tell you to throw some topsoil on top, clear out some of the gravel, throw some topsoil down, put some wetland seeds around it, have a nice day.
Well, if it's there, he can keep it. It makes it easier because then you won't have to get permission from any person who owns the easement.
Now,
And you'd still have to submit a application, but
No, we own the easement. I mean,
you own the property. You own the
Property,
property.
right.
So then he owns the property, he can leave it.
you can leave the
You can do
gravel.
whatever you
even-
want.
He still would need a
Permit for the
permit for the gravel, for putting
driveway.
the driveway in. Still needs a permit for that.
Right.
Yeah, but,
From the wetlands, from you guys.
From us, right.
But, we have to come up with a solution that satisfies the violation, right? So we have to, if we grant the permit, we have to have enough that it satisfies this.
It's from NYC.
This is
No,
from
Carmel.
Carmel.
Right.
So I will call up Carmel tomorrow.
Call himself.
I'm calling myself.
Well, it tells you in there what you have to do. It tells you he has to get a permit.
Right,
Yeah.
So that's why we're here. I mean,
Right.
that's all we know.
right.
So,
Yeah, but why am I gonna give him I know, I'm thinking logically again, but,
he's putting in an access to the lake, which is already in there, assuming it hasn't happened yet. and he needs a
Maintaining or
permit.
upgrading an access to the lake. That's not-
maintaining it, and then most I make you do is put some
That's what,
some
we- that's,
filter
that's what
fabric
was
at the end
done.
of some silt fence at the end of the gravel road. And then it has to be put back after it's, just so no runoff goes into the lake.
We have to clarify about
Yeah.
any conflict with the easement.
Right.
To me, to my mind, once that's resolved, then I think we know what direction we want to go.
To get the copy of the deed, that's up, somebody said on Fair Street?
County,
Yeah, County Street,
County.
fair.
County?
Take
County
Route
building,
6 all the
straight in the
way
county
up.
building, go to,
County building's on the right, you'll see the lake on the left, building's on the right, big building.
right next to the old
Lake Lenida.
courthouse.
Lake Lenina.
Okay.
I went there when I first moved up here with my father-in-law.
What's the guy's name? Mike Bartolotti is the clerk there, but the other assistant.
Sorry.
That's, seems to be the common saying. It's okay.
Tonight was a sorry night,
Tonight was a
too sorry night.
too sorry night.
Two sorries.
Go home and have a drink between two fingers.
Camera's off. You're good, Rob, you know?
Okay, we
All
got,
right,
All right?
let's close
we
this.
got the minutes.
We can't do the
We'll see you
minutes,
soon.
because Vince is not here.
Date was December,
First Thursday in December.
thank you.
Ed, you mean.
All right, do I have a motion to,
It's not here, we can
Ed's
do
not
that.
here, we can't do the minutes. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good night. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Any opposed?